Hi, Dr Peta Stapleton here from Tapping in the Classroom, and with me today is Kate Blackshaw. So she's going to have a chat to us just briefly today about how she's using the tappy bears and the whole concept of obviously EFT tapping in her classroom. Thanks so much, Kate, for joining us today.
Fine.
Could you just let our listeners know a little bit about perhaps what your training is, classes that you teach and what you're doing currently?
So I'm a primary school teacher, currently living in Hong Kong, been there for the last 12 months, but been a teacher for 12 years, and have been using tapping in the classroom for a few years. Mostly with prep age children, so 4.5 to 5 year olds, but recently in a year 3 classroom. So
how did you introduce the idea, perhaps because you're in Hong Kong living there, different obviously to our Australian kind of classrooms in some ways?
Yeah.
How did you introduce the idea to these little ones? What's their age roughly? About 8?
7 to 8.
7
yes.
to 8.
So we were doing a couple of little meditations once a week, and then I started to talk to them about tapping, and then I jumped onto Brad Yates' website actually and had him read the Wizard's book to them.
Oh wow.
So they loved that because it was about a 16-minute video and it was right at their age level, and they were fascinated. And then afterwards we talked about what they understood about the book and tapping, and then I said let's have a go.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was great. And then every Monday we would do meditations and tapping.
Okay.
On a Monday afternoon. And I noticed some of my little special needs kids or kids that were struggling with certain things every now and then, just in a normal school day, I would just see them just tapping, and I said to this one little boy, "Is that making you feel better?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Wow,
and
that's
so you would see them just using it in their own way when they needed to.
Yeah.
So that was really lovely.
And a great concept, I guess, because we often think about using a book, but what you've done is actually had Brad Yates read his own book through the video.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic idea, and I actually didn't realise that he had a video on that. So
yeah, it was good.
I guess anyone brand new, Brad Yates is an EFT person that does a lot of, and probably has the most YouTube videos out there and the biggest YouTube channel in EFT. So certainly look him up and look up the Wizard's Wish. The Wizard's Wish, because he actually is able to read directly to the children that book. So that's fantastic. And do you use any other aids? Have you got any of the bears?
I've taken the bear in, but I haven't. We just finished our school year in Hong Kong.
Okay.
But I'm about to start teaching a year 1 class, so
Yeah.
I can't wait to take that in and show them, because that's really easy for them to be able to sit and use him.
Yeah.
And then tap on themselves as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, but the kids were fascinated and all passed the bear around and
Yeah.
understood that his points were the same as the ones that
Okay.
they had learnt as well.
Wow. And you, at this stage, colleagues, do other teachers know this is something that you were doing in your classroom?
Yeah, there's a couple of teachers. There's one other lady who has done a bit of an EFT course as well.
Yeah.
So she uses everything: mindfulness, meditation, tapping. 5 points of self-regulation, lots of things. And I'm on the mindfulness and wellness team at school.
Okay.
So we're looking at a lot of research at the moment, and this year is going to be a really big mindful well-being focus at our school in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And lots of money being thrown into and training for teachers on how we can do things throughout the entire school and be able to teach kids different strategies and things for their little toolbox. So yeah, and my teacher aides that were in the room, they just loved Mondays because they would be sitting there tapping away and were just fascinated, and they went off and then looked up more about it. So they've shown an interest as well, and can't believe how many students their mood and behaviour and everything they were just so much more settled.
Yeah. Fabulous, I guess, to hear so many different countries, not just our own that we've been trialling here in Australia, but certainly other countries out there that are embracing these kind of techniques, and obviously children benefiting from them. So thank you to Kate for sharing with us today a little bit about how she's using it, obviously in another country, and obviously with the training from the program. I'm guessing that all kind of helped the whole process.
Great.
And anyone that hasn't looked at tapping in the classroom yet, certainly jump on the website and check that out. Module 1 is free, and we look forward to chatting to some other teachers just to share how they're using it as well. Thanks.